And welcome to our podcast, Geeks Are Wired, where we talk about video games, movies, TV, comic books, technology, and TLDR, the Internet of Things. And I'm your host, Bill. B adds more guests. Well, I'm really messing this one up. Had to change things up. Okay, we have Anna.
Hi, I'm here.
And we have Joe.
Hello.
Yay, that just worked.
Yeah, that does work pretty good.
Okay. So, after our short startup, we will talk about how Apple Watch is trying to save your life.
That's right.
You need to quit watching football. Because anyone who watched football, and watched the Vikings-Saints game, you watched it, you said.
Yeah, I watched especially the ending. That's what I'm sure it's in reference to.
It was really close. Did you watch it?
No, I don't really watch football. Maybe once or twice a year.
I know. I'm totally watching the big game.
Well, there was so much. Oh yeah.
Commercials.
Well, there was tons of back and forth, and I guess what it was. See, we're going back and forth. I'm just gonna say, if this is wrong, no nerds will even know I'm wrong anyway, so it's okay. But basically, I think the Vikings were winning, and then they were in like the final few minutes of the game, and then the Saints managed to get down the field and kick like a field goal or something, so they actually were winning. It was like a last minute upset. And then in a last minute upset, there was like 10 seconds and they had one play, and then they threw a ball, and then the guy managed to get a touchdown right at the end of the game.
Wow. And
so that's what I'm sure was getting everybody freaking out, because probably more the Vikings fans too, because they're one of the teams that haven't gone that far.
Sports ball.
Yeah, that's why it's tragic they got beaten by the Eagles.
Yeah.
They did their miracle plays just to get stomped the next week. So
yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure it was that game, because the other one would just be sadness. I don't know if it can measure that. If everyone's heartbeats just go lower as the depression sinks in.
Yeah. No, okay. I watched the big game.
Yeah.
Got copyrighted, and they like to sue people apparently. But they, it's worse than playing music.
Yeah.
But because some of those, I'll watch the game during commercials, in between my commercial breaks.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'll admit that a good game makes it a little more entertaining.
Yeah.
I don't know about what the alert was. Apple Watch detected a heart rate that rose above 120 beats per minute, while you appear to be
this is sedentary
inactive during a 10-minute period.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
To get your heart rate that up.
I just don't. This is becoming a common thing, though. You go to sports ball games, and you're starting to, really get into it. You're fans, and you're just like, yeah, this is fun, and all this.
Did you see the viral video? The guy throwing his bowl of chips at the ceiling.
No,
over a Steelers game. Yeah. I was like, that guy's heart rate was probably elevated.
Yep.
So there's a way to track all this, as they're watching?
Yeah. Well, I don't think Apple actually got the information unless you upload it to them and give them rights and all that. And I'm sure there is some of that.
Mm-hmm.
But the big thing was people were posting about this. So once people started posting about it, it went viral. But the nice thing is that if you have your information, you can track it. And it also is good for your health and everything. I've heard about one guy, he actually found out he was having heart palpitations because his watch kept on going, hey, your heart rate spiked. And he went to a doctor and was like, that's just a fluke. It's nothing. He's like, no, look at this. And he had everything. He's like, it did here and here and here. I'm like, no, this is not a fluke. And they're like, okay, we'll send you to the hospital. And yeah, I found out he needed a surgery. And if he would have waited an additional week, he probably would have died.
Oh yeah, had a full-blown heart attack or something. Yeah.
But on the ambulance ride over, because of all this information he's collected, they were asking him all the information, and he's just like, yep, here. Oh, let me pull this up. Yep, here's and they're like, you have answered more questions than anybody else ever.
Yeah, that is pretty cool though.
Yeah, if it's tracking the information just over time and just kind of gathering that. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, what's nice is Apple's will tell you your heart rate spiked, and this is unexpected. I have a Fitbit. It goes, your heart rate spiked, and I really not going to tell you anything. I don't care. If you care, you can go look at it, but it might be a little late. But
so it's better to have the Apple Watch than the Fitbit.
I'm not going to say
when
that.
it comes down to it.
You could save your life. Luckily, you don't care about football, Bill. I'm looking at the timestamp of the tweet they had, and it's definitely that game because it was 7:40 on January 14th, so it's the Vikings Saints one.
Yeah.
So like I said, all the Vikings fan would feel on the next game is just sadness
Aww.
as they get demolished.
Well, actually, there is something that the Apple Watch is better than my Fitbit. And I actually didn't put it in the show notes, so a little extra is there is a new cryptocurrency to the Android marketplace. Apparently, it's been around for Apple for a while, and it works. The only wrist device that it works with is the Apple Watch because it's better at taking steps over Fitbits, and it's called Sweatcoin.
Sweatcoin.
You get crypto coins for your steps. Because I am an Android user and they don't have a really good watch to track your steps, and Fitbit's really easy to fake your steps. Apple, they have all these extra conditions and everything, so you can use the Apple Watch for it.
Okay.
But for about every 1,000 verified steps you get one Sweatcoin. Now it's basically then they take 5% off the top. So if they're mining, I'm still a little confused about this. If it's cryptocurrency or not, it seems more like a point system, like achievement or Higgy or HIT. I think it's Higgy. There's a couple of them out there.
There's the Higgy one.
Yeah. So you get points, or even a reward system like your local Fred Meyers or something like that. They just put the cryptocurrency name on it because it's popular, and then you can for 20,000 sweat points basically, you can get $1,000 PayPal or $1,000 off your PayPal account.
I know I realize Higgy's more brutally honest to me than my own doctor. Because I got a physical and my doctor was like, "Yeah, you're fine." And I did the Higgy while I was waiting for my eye doctor, and it says, "You're kind of fat." Just kind of, and the doctor didn't put kind of fat. No, he's like,
"You're good."
That sounds kind of like the Black Mirror episode, that 15 million merits, though. That type of
slightly kind of is. The only thing is when I say verified steps, because of maybe with the Apple Watch is better. With my phone, bases off of GPS, how my steps go, and all this other stuff. So on a good day, it's about 20,000 actual steps converted into one coin. This is how it takes I lose about half my steps. If you walk inside, you don't have a GPS signal very good, all that other stuff.
Okay.
So it kind of sucks. I'm sure the Apple Watch would be better with all that, but that means for those coins, those 20,000 coins, that's 2 million steps you have to take. Which means I need to take 4 million steps and I'll get $1,000. And you can trade this stuff too. I can send coins out or I can buy coins. There's an entire little group out there that they buy from each other.
Well, you'd probably be surprised if you're doing your 10,000 a day. It'd still take forever, but you could get there.
Yeah.
4 million steps.
Well, and also you top off unless you sign up for that higher link.
Oh yeah.
So you also end up they start taking more coins from you, not even money. So you're just dealing with the coins. So, but if you get the steps, so the free one is 5,000 a day, which I could hit my 10,000 steps and still not hit hit my verified steps that high. So I'm whatever. Until I start getting more, I'm not gonna go back up because I went up oh hey, maybe I get 20,000, and no, so hard. Maybe when summer comes, and I spend more time outside, or they start bringing in other devices. But for Android users, I feel like it's okay. It's fun. It's something to check out and try. But there's a link in the show notes, so it's definitely fun to try. See what you can do with it. Maybe if you're a runner, sure. Especially if you're a runner that keeps your phone with you, yes. If you're an Apple user with an Apple Watch, sure.
Mm-hmm.
If you're just an Apple user without a watch, you're in the same boat as I am. It deals with your phone. It could be fun. You could do some stuff, see how you rate compared to everyone. Maybe cash it out and walk away, or maybe hey, this just runs in the background. It just sits in the background. I just ignore it.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's not bad. I'll get, like I said, there'll be a link in the show notes. I'll share it with you guys if you guys care. I'm getting made fun of at work. All these cryptocurrencies.
That's right.
Apple Watch still isn't better. Let's see. So, on the most wonderful news.
What's that?
It's kind of sad that Ted's not here. A movie based on a game.
It sounds like a winner.
I know, especially when it's based on a game that flopped last time after waiting 20 years.
Yeah.
Duke Nukem.
Duke Nukem.
Yes, we're getting Duke Nukem.
No. Duke Nukem is like the frat boy Ash, kind of.
Yeah, I can see that. So, okay, did you read? No, without reading. Don't read. Who do you think should play Duke Nukem?
No one, because I'm anti-video game movies.
Okay, who could pull the look?
Well, they could throw The Rock in it for whatever, because he's in everything.
Yeah.
I can't think of, like, someone that would be that big to... I don't know.
Okay, how about John Cena?
John Cena.
John Cena.
Cena, that too.
Yeah.
Get a nice little flat top haircut.
Yeah, he's got the body type.
He actually has hair unlike The Rock.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I thought about. I was trying to picture The Rock, and I was... Yeah, he could kind of bleach his hair a little bit. He could do it, but again, just why? We don't need a Duke Nukem movie.
Well, it's like the last game. It's because fans want this.
Fans don't want this. Fans didn't want the game.
No, actually, I wanted the game. I just didn't want that game.
Yeah.
I remember playing Duke Nukem side-scroller.
I liked Duke Nukem back in the day. Played it on the original PlayStation, and I did the like third-person one that was okay.
Yeah.
You're just shooting...
aliens.
Yeah, all the pig cops and stuff, too. And not the derogatory term. They're the actual pig.
Yeah, they were actually swine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The swine. The boars. Yeah, that's... I don't know. I'm sure you'll get your 100% like Paddington Duke Nukem movie.
You really think so? No, I think they're going to get their 0.
I know.
Like, we have a movie in theaters. We think nobody showed up.
I know. Some of those movies do get their ratings so bad they won't like show it on the actual page. Like, you have to click on it to see the damage.
Yeah.
They're like, ooh.
Like, this is an actual 0. Sorry.
No, exactly.
There's only 3 movies. You don't want to know what they are because you'll go watch them just to realize you shouldn't have. Okay, how about another game? Okay, what is the best movie that has from a game ever?
The first Silent Hill is okay.
There's a better game. Movie.
I like Resident Evil.
Even better. There's an even better one.
I know that Tomb Raider's coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go... Okay, get off of video games.
Video games? What other...
Board games.
Oh, the Clue movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're remaking Clue! With Ryan Reynolds.
Is he going to be Professor Plum?
More than likely, he'll be Mr. Body. But the butler initially.
Oh,
But
that's funny.
No, I don't know.
A Clue reboot.
Yeah.
20th Century Fox, like aka Disney, is making their movie.
Mm. So
I honestly haven't seen the Clue movie. I just heard it's good.
Oh,
Yeah, I need to watch it.
that's like my top 5.
I know, I've heard good things about that movie.
It is the only movie that's based on a game that is good ever.
I know.
Who else is in the movie?
The new one or the remake? Or the original, I mean.
The one that's coming out.
Ryan Reynolds.
Okay, so that's the biggest name.
That is the only name that I've heard of.
I do like the old version though with Tim Curry.
Yes.
Definitely a classic.
We might have to have a movie night.
I know, I need to watch that.
Apparently it didn't make much over here. Really? Only made $14.5 million.
So Paddington, everyone's snubbing that movie.
Snubbing
Not cool. Yeah. The American audience is snubbing it.
No. Because it's British. We don't understand that stuff.
Whatever. Everyone's missing out.
No, I plan on going to watch it.
It might get pulled,
100%
though.
rating.
I think it's going to be gone on Friday at our theater.
Okay, I'll have to admit, I'm not too worried about missing that one in theaters. It doesn't... Would you really call it a theater-worthy movie?
Yeah, I love Paddington. I'm buying that movie.
Well, no, it might be buying-worthy, but is it big screen-worthy?
Yeah, it has actually a lot of, like, really cool sequences. Because they do this really thing. There's like a picture book, and they turn it into like zooming into the pictures, and has these cool like British setups. And then there's some action sequences on trains. There's like a whole prison sequence. They do a lot of the wide shots. It's totally theater worthy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That could be. Actually, what is it? There's another reboot. Disney is remaking. I remember what it is now. I did another thing on the show notes. Sword in the Stone.
Oh.
So they're going to. They have the director from 28 Weeks Later, the OK 28 movie.
Oh yeah. I know who did that one.
I don't remember who it was.
I liked that one.
Well, okay, it was enjoyable.
It wasn't as good as the first
No.
one, that's for sure.
Not even.
It had its moments. I like the helicopter in the field where it's just buzzing them all up.
Yeah.
And the opening sequence was really cool.
It would make sense that if it would have gotten out. You know, it's kind of like the idea, because didn't it come out during like the bird flu and all that stuff? So the idea of
I guess 2007.
Loose.
Yeah, that's right before.
oops.
Let's see.
So the Sword in the Stone, that's going to be just a live action version of it.
A live action version. Disney's next live action movie, not live action remake of their previous.
Their live actions are actually pretty good right now.
They
The
were.
ones that are coming out. I know that Beauty and the Beast was actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it. We purchased it.
Mhm.
Actually, Ted bought it for my birthday.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, they have all been solid. I think I liked all the live action ones that
yeah,
they've done,
even-
the new ones.
What was it?
Jungle
Jungle
Book was good, yeah.
Mhm.
And then Pete's Dragon was good.
I did not see it, but
It's kind of sad, but
I was
it's
kind
good.
of a so-so on the. Actually, Pete's Dragon was okay. It was a remake. It wasn't just a remake from
Yeah.
a cartoon.
Yeah, that's true. Because the other one was live action too. It was just like the dragon was straight up cartoon,
Mhm.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of so-so with Pete's Dragon. That's why I was like, oh, hey, this movie's out. I think I might have seen it when I was a kid.
I want him
Probably
to do Mulan. That'd be a cool one.
That is another one in the works.
Yeah.
Actually. Yes.
I'm more excited for that than an Aladdin one. The Lion King's hard too because it's just like, if the kid wasn't in the Jungle Book, it pretty much would have just been a computer animated movie.
They have casts for this already.
Oh, that's cool.
They actually, yeah. So they've already started moving on.
Oh,
Unlike
yeah.
the other one where they're still working on, whatever. They actually have actors.
Because I could have some pretty awesome visuals in there too, and all you really have to worry about is the dragon. And obviously from
Mhm.
Game of Thrones, you can do
Well,
a proper
except for
CG dragon.
Maybe the souls too.
Oh yeah, that's true. No, that one would be a good one.
It will come out in 2019.
I'd totally go out and watch that one.
Oh, I'm actually excited for that one.
I know.
That was actually interesting.
They can team up with Rick and Morty and get their Szechuan sauce.
There we go. Finally, the Szechuan sauce re-release.
That's
yes,
right.
the
Proper.
Mulan version.
Yes, the proper re-release.
Because wasn't it originally tied to Mulan?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's what I thought. So there you go.
I had it way back when they actually had that come out
Back
with
in
McDonald's
98.
nuggets.
Yeah. Yeah, they totally should. That'd be awesome.
I don't know why.
They,
Yeah.
they should do better than the release of that Szechuan sauce that they had this last year.
Well, they should have known better. So, I'm not even going to try her name,
I know.
but definitely have not seen any of those. Probably, but still quite a few movies. 25.
I
That's
know.
pretty soon. Means a good actress.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of those either.
I don't know.
Ew. Yeah, it could be interesting.
The Forbidden Kingdom. I know that movie.
She played Golden Sparrow and
Yeah, I think Jackie Chan was the main person in the movie.
Oh yeah,
and yeah,
that does sound familiar.
there's Jet Li.
oh,
Yep.
Yeah, that like it's the classic like Journey to the East,
Huh.
which has the Monkey King and everything.
Okay.
It's just one of those classic like tales that comes from the Chinese culture too. So,
Cool.
yeah. So that's that's pretty cool. So she's from there.
Yes.
I'd totally watch Mulan. I think that would be a great
Oh.
movie. I wonder if they'll.
It's good. It's going to be good. Like based on all the other ones they've made or remade.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if they're just gonna take kind of the view of like Beauty and the Beast and just kind of
A 1-for-1, basically.
yeah, so sort of kind of go with like the flow with the music and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And
What is that? Well, even if they don't do a Beauty and the Beast of like an almost 1-for-1, that's what I liked about Jungle Book. It wasn't quite 1-for-1, but there was a good. They still gave good nods to like the main music from it that you remembered.
Got your bare necessities in there.
I'm trying to think. Wasn't they remake another animation?
They did. Oh, I thought there was one earlier. I'm trying to remember all of them. Because there was one other one I can't think of too, but
I haven't watched like Pete's Dragon or the Jungle Book.
oh yeah, Cinderella too,
Did they?
and Alice in Wonderland. Yeah, they did that because that had the Baby Driver girl in it, Lily James. And I like that one. That one was more like a straight up remake. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do they extend the story a bit as they kind of go like almost 1-for-1 with the?
Cinderella was more faithful. It was kind of like Beauty and the Beast. You had a couple sequences that kind of like extended stuff, but the basic story structure was exactly the same.
Lion King, I'm kind of questioning.
Well, that's what I mean, because it's going to be Jon Favreau, like that did the Jungle Book, so they can nail the animals. But without a person in there, it's basically a computer animated movie.
But they did get one actor to come back.
Which one?
There's only one voice that matters.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
No.
James Earl Jones.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
James Earl Mufasa.
Mufasa. Seth Rogen. Yeah. No, I'll still watch it. It's just kind of funny. It's like, is it really live action if there's nothing live about it?
Yeah, kind of like the Jungle Book idea.
But
barely
that's
was.
the thing. There's the boy, so it barely was, but it's still kind of.
So,
it was total green screen movie.
So I understand Maleficent, and I kind of like the story they went with that. But apparently, Cruella.
Oh.
How can the woman that is supposed to give you the chills just saying her name?
I know.
I don't know. Is that how the song went? Cruella de Vil?
I think so.
The evilest woman that you'll ever hear. Or
I didn't see
forget.
Maleficent either. I need to watch that.
Maleficent's really good.
Yeah. Little Mermaid. Yeah, so they're
I wanna
going
watch
through
that.
all of them.
There's your Aladdin.
Mm-hmm.
Genie? Oh,
Oh, so you
Wait.
could say spin-off.
yeah. I can see that. Peter Pan. I don't know. Peter Pan is a...
That feels
So
like that's
many.
that's been done a lot.
The same with the idea if they do a Tinkerbell, though I can see that. Dumbo, I think I was hearing about that being turned live action. I don't know. I enjoyed it when I was younger. I don't know if I could.
Yeah.
Like
Christopher Robin, maybe.
See, that's actually one that I feel like should have already been.
Pinocchio. I was hoping Guillermo del Toro was going to do like a dark Pinocchio, and I was excited about that, but
he could, because Pinocchio is an open license. Disney's
Oh,
Pinocchio.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's
like
why...
the Jungle Book is the same way too.
Yep. A lot of these, actually, because Disney got rights from...
Yeah.
It's like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. You can make a story, if you're going to name the dwarves, name them different names than what Disney has.
Oh, yeah,
Because
that's true.
They didn't have names.
Yeah, I forgot about that, a lot of their properties, because I think, what's his name? Andy Serkis is still going to do his.
Mm-hmm. It was going to release at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad they didn't, but he might still follow.
Well, and Alice in Wonderland, isn't that not Disney too? I thought
Correct.
that was. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't own that. Let's see. I forgot. Sleeping Beauty.
Mm-hmm.
Maleficent, Cinderella, same thing. Jungle Book. Pete's Dragon is Disney. Beauty and the Beast is not Disney.
Yeah.
Mulan, I don't know any of the origin of.
I know. I feel like it might be. I don't know.
You know,
I don't know.
Dalmatians Disney? I felt like that one might have
no.
been. I don't know.
I feel like Little Mermaid might be based off of another story.
Yeah, it's based off another
Okay.
story. Yeah.
Snow White is.
Lion King might be theirs.
I'm pretty sure
I think.
Lion King's there.
Yeah.
Aladdin is not,
Yeah.
because Alibaba and the Thousand Thieves.
Mm-hmm.
40 Thieves?
40
too.
Thieves, yeah.
Or maybe was it Thousand Nights of...
Oh, the
Arabian
Nights, like
Yeah.
1,000. Oh, yeah. I know the one you're
maybe that's
talking
right,
about.
Because Aladdin is part of the Arabian Nights
Yeah.
story. What?
I don't think Peter Pan's not either, right?
No.
Yeah, because that's a really old story
That
too.
it is not open apparently. It is owned by the place in Britain. There's actually somebody the writer gave it to a place for children,
Oh,
so they
okay.
can help. So like the idea of where Peter Pan takes place initially, there is a real place that owns the rights.
Okay.
So unless there's some things that happen, from my understanding, they still own. Which is good. I'm not sure about Dumbo. I could totally see that being theirs.
Christopher Robin, they did own Pooh. It used to not be Disney, and then I think they own the rights to it.
Yeah, it is pre-Disney.
Yeah.
When the same guy who voiced Winston Churchill during World War II also did the voice of Christopher Robin. Pinocchio's not theirs.
Ron Howard, though. He needs to get out of here. Maybe they'll fire him after his failed Han Solo movie comes out.
Prince Charming, you have literally a million stories you can choose from on that. It's kind of like Shrek and Prince Charming.
Well, it makes sense too, because I don't think any of these, because I always think of the comic book series Fables, because I read through that, and they have all those, like Rose Red and Snow White and Cinderella and stuff too, and that's not Disney at all. It's very gritty and mature, and I think it's the same way too, is because he built his own world and then took all those characters and put them in it. Mm-hmm. So that is,
Didn't it come from some of the stories from Grimm's fairy tales and
that's some of the
or Hans Christian Andersen?
Yep.
Yeah,
the
like
thing is
Rapunzel and
so
stuff too.
Many of these older stories that are used for that. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
We have quite some options ahead. Yay. That actually, we totally went off on that more than I expected. But it was worth it.
That's right.
Let's see. TV shows. George R.R. Martin.
Oh, yeah, it's Nightflyers.
Is going to sci-fi. Which means that also he's still getting his spin-off for
Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good, because they need to do more of Martin's non-Game of Thrones stuff, because it's really good. Because I think he's a better sci-fi writer than even a fantasy writer, and I like his series.
So, you're actually looking forward to it. But you think sci-fi is a good channel to hold it, because...
Yeah, well, sci-fi can be really hit or miss. It's kind of like the Netflix problem, that Netflix, you're sort of don't get too excited, because it can be awesome or it can be terrible, because Netflix doesn't screen anything. Yeah,
well, because they're trying to grow so much.
Yeah.
I'll admit that there's been a lot, but I also am starting to slightly feel the YouTube effect on it.
Well, because they can be good. I just watched Into the Effing World. That's what it's called. Yeah, that's a good show.
Really good. I hope they don't make a sequel.
I watched it too.
Yeah, I like that show.
So you guys liked it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I don't want a sequel. I don't want the story should be done.
I know, well, because it's open-ended, but it's sort of because that's what Megan, that my wife was saying, is I was like, well, I wonder what they're going to do with Zelda. And she's like, but really, what can they do in a season 2? Because it is kind of set up to be it's going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like if they made a season 2, it's just them trying to fill more of their... No, don't do that. Just go get some more original content. Keep doing this. It's was it...
You guys recognize the guy where he was from? James? The main character?
I may have at the time.
Yeah.
He was the Black Mirror episode. The one where he's the child, the kiddie porn guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That was the other reason I may have been having some issues trying to sympathize with him.
I know. And then
the girl too.
The girl I recognized because she was in Hannah, that movie. I like
the male character in that series. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was also in Imitation Game.
Oh,
he was,
yeah,
the younger Alan. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. No, I like them. They were both really good in that. Yep, the young Alan Turing.
Actually, maybe I didn't recognize him first.
It took me a second. I had to remember. Because as soon as I heard Black Mirror, then I was like, oh yeah, I know which episode that was. Yeah, and then the girl's good too. She's been in a few stuff.
Shut Up and Dance.
Mm-hmm. That's the one. That's a season 3 episode.
Oh, yes. They probably... Season 4 could have... Yeah, I was thinking about... Went back, thought about some things. Season 4 was not as bad as I was kind of like...
I like the even episodes. I don't like the other ones, I decided.
Though I was trying to remember, like, certain episodes. Like, I started, like, seeing titles, and I'm like, what was that one about again? Like, I had to really think about it, because, like, maybe the titles just weren't sticking out enough for me.
Well, that's why I couldn't be too harsh on it, because I kept thinking, I was like, if this was like a 3-episode season, I thought it was fine, because I did, like, legitimately enjoy 3 out of the 6 episodes. Yeah. But then I thought, when you have your 6, that also means you get an F, because if I like 3 and dislike 3, that's 50%. And so I'm just very conflicted on that season.
Yeah.
Season 3, it had kind of its ups and downs, but I still, like, liked all the episodes. I don't think there was, like, an episode that I disliked. Yeah, no, they were all quite... Yeah, because there was better ones than other, but I liked all of them. I thought they were all interesting.
They were all memorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the game one was probably like the weakest one for me.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
But it was still entertaining, and then I liked the Shut Up and Dance.
The technology, it felt like.
Yeah.
And seeing how things... That's why I felt like with... it's season 4. Have you seen any of the new season yet?
I have been trying to finish like up some series, and I was going to start, but then
All right, I understand.
I still haven't gotten back to it.
Just watch the even ones. That's all you need.
Well, see, no, okay. So I was thinking about this.
I hate that episode so much.
I hated how it ended.
I know,
but I was not totally against it.
It annoyed me so much. I hated the girl in that episode.
Archangel, the second one I expected, what basically was going to happen.
Yeah.
I felt like...
They didn't take it in a direction I wanted them to take it, but at least, like, the idea was Black Mirror-ish.
Oh, okay. That's the other thing. So, like, the crocodile, I'm like, what is... I think that's the one I keep on going back. I'm like, what is this about? Like,
it's so pointless.
It was... once again, it's kind of like the playtest. But
yeah.
Like it was an evolution of the technology.
Well, and it was like a series of random sub-stories that just don't really go anywhere.
And that's what they do usually with the last episode. Like, ever since the Christmas episode, it's a bunch of mini stories kind of put together. And I thought it was interesting to see how things did tie together. I have to admit that
that's my favorite one.
Really?
Yeah.
I keep forgetting it exists.
No, I like that out of all of them.
It's a total meh to me.
Yeah, no, I like that one way more than...
And for you saying the evil ones, I liked Metalhead.
Well, I didn't mind it, but it was just like, it would have been an interesting, like, student film, because it was just purely no substance at all. It was just something that was, like, entertaining to watch. If someone just says, make, like, an apocalyptic short, but it's just not about anything, then you say, okay, it works for that, but as far as that, I was like... What's the message here? Like, don't make evil robot dogs that'll blow your head off.
No, not evil robot. Well, okay. So this one, maybe that's the other reason is I also started like looking at how things tie into it, and the timeline and all that. So which also made me start thinking about how the technology may have gone through. Okay, so let's say that the million credit episode exists during a post-apocalyptic time.
Sure, probably would.
But it becomes the question of were we able to recover from it? Which means some of these could be after, especially where like Black Museum kind of did give some nods to it.
Yeah.
Or is those nods just to be what they are, nods and nothing more? Because there was the idea that because it's because it was nodded in a book, it's not a real event. I still go it was a real event, whether it happened after Black Museum or whether
I'd hope it happened. Like, I still think of it as like, no, I still think of it as like the furthest in the future.
So this is what I was going with. It is the same time period as Metalhead. It is the reason we are in the bunkers underground.
Because of the dogs.
Because of the dogs. Which, the dogs were created because of, I went the wrong direction. Because humans in Men Against Fire that we brainwashed, that volunteered to be brainwashed so they could kill other humans and not shoot over their head. Because that was because people kept on breaking away from it.
You need the ice cold dogs.
You made the ice cold dogs. What's the ice cold dogs? Then you have the Skynet issue.
Maybe, because they were extremely difficult to kill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what you have governments creating these, AIs to go out and kill things.
Yeah, it might, but I don't know. Metalhead, it was just, but the episode doesn't give you that. That's why it was frustrating. Because you just had to read into everything. Like, even what you said, that's completely just reading into it. We don't know.
And maybe that's why there's a lot of that. But also, I admit, it did almost seem too simple, and especially, like, after the episode, I was like, I have no clue what's going on here. But I feel like there's a couple of those on their own standing.
Yeah.
That kind of have that.
I mean, I was entertained. I wasn't bored. Some people said they were bored, and I was like, it's not boring. It's like intense and stuff too, but it feels like that. It feels like somebody was like practicing like shots where they just said, hey, go do this. Because I remember taking a video production class where they said, practice like a wide angle shot, and you would just film somebody like walking up to get a Coke at a vending machine. Like, there's no story there, and that's where I felt like Metalhead was just like, do a bleak, like, post-apocalyptic, like, snapshot into someone's life.
Yeah.
No explanation, and just film it.
Well, they explained it because they explained that the dogs exist. Like, when they were trying to be real quiet, I'm like, is there a rival gang? Is there...
Mm-hmm.
Or is, kind of like the Walking Dead style, like, you have to deal with these other groups that are very dangerous, and you're just trying to get... Though, and also more reading into it.
Yeah.
So they were trying to get this box.
To
make somebody's life better.
Mm-hmm.
And, at least the last few minutes of their life. So, do you remember what was in the box?
Yes,
okay.
Unfortunately.
Well, yeah. So, okay, I'm gonna totally spoil this right now. Just, what is in the box is teddy bears. Okay, so either that means that is a child that is very sick and about to die, and this is a comfort thing, or... because of the last episode...
It's someone's consciousness?
Not somebody's. It could be. I'm not going to say it is somebody's consciousness.
Yeah.
I'm saying they could transfer somebody's consciousness into them and make the last of their life last longer.
Yeah, that could be. That's true.
That's where I kind of... Yeah.
It is legitimate, interesting thoughts, but that's why the episode, again, it doesn't tell you any of that.
It doesn't.
They don't confirm that the teddy bear is the same.
Yeah.
Where in other episodes they do confirm the technology overlaps. The episode just left it as just like a teddy bear, and then you think, oh, you sacrificed your party for a stupid teddy bear. Just make a teddy bear. Like, stuff some sheets.
And that's why I think there was the other stuff with it. And, a lot of that reading too. But it was really, I guess, interesting, especially when because I heard them say dogs earlier, like, the dogs destroy everything. And we're like, oh, okay, so there's vicious wolves out there. And then when they reveal the dogs, I'm like, oh, and that's why I was thinking. I think it felt a lot like an event that's happening during the 1 million credit episode, or 5 million credit, whatever it's called.
That's possible because it definitely has to be way past every, because the majority of the episodes
1 million credit merits.
Well, because so many of them, too, they are just in, living in more modern civilizations. So I can't imagine, if they're forced underground, that then any of the episodes that are more, in commonplace time.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Facebook episode, that wouldn't be after the fact.
That's something else, is the last episode of the season. Because I was thinking, the overarching of all this, from the one of, the national anthem, all the way to the 5 or 15 million merits one. I was almost feeling like, oh, this is 100 years. Or something like that. The Black Museum definitely went, no, this is 20.
Yeah.
We went from, the prime minister kind of messing around, or having to mess around with a pig, all the way to having to bunker ourselves underground at about maybe 20, maybe 40 years tops.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely just went, we like technology, implants, Sen Juniper?
Yeah.
Sen Juniper? Juniper?
Yeah.
We just went up with this, we're gaining technology, we're learning, technology's good, bad, everything in between, and then dive bomb.
That's right.
We just kind of really screwed things up, guys. But you could also go that we did a lot of stuff, and then we were able to recover. So that's where, maybe we did destroy the planet. Okay, now we're able to. That's why the 15 million merit one, I'm kind of questioning whether it's last or whether it's third to last.
Mm-hmm.
Or early even. I don't know, it's because they actually didn't have a lot of the implants or anything in there. They could even be earlier-ish, and then we run with technology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it getting renewed for its 4th season? Or 5th season, I mean?
Netflix only had the 2 seasons, officially.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So whether they have to negotiate with BBC for any more, because something else that BBC lost out on. They're like, oh, we have to show it first. And they're like, well, whatever. They're like, actually, contract doesn't say that. We own it. So they might own it even right now.
Yeah. I know, I was wondering about that, because I still watch it. It didn't lose me. I was just disappointed, I should say.
Yeah, and did you see all the nods in Black Mirror? Or Black Museum?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I liked all the little Easter eggs.
Like the first, like I was told you, like the first 5 minutes. Did you pause it at all?
Mm-hmm.
Then you saw the white bear.
Yeah, I liked the mask and stuff too.
And it seemed like they may be explaining a few things. And they even like everything that happened in this season was in that museum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that because they had the tub and the tablet and the lollipop, and then the because you had the lollipop
and his scanner
from the first episode. Yeah, and his scanner, and then you had the tablet from the second one, the bathtub of the third one. Then you had.
I don't think they did anything from Hang the DJ.
Oh yeah, because that one wasn't tragic. There's nothing sad about that, so it wouldn't fit with the crime stuff.
With what they did, the amount of time period, like as soon as they said, "Oh, we could be an AI," I was thinking that the time period just jumps. Like you people input their stuff, you have some across between the USS Callister with what is it? There's one of the. I forgot another episode. Might be where they kind of sped up. Oh no, actually the Christmas episode.
Yeah, the Christmas episode.
Yeah, White Christmas. So you have stuff like this, and you can like spin up an entire lifetime of testing in like 3 seconds.
Exactly.
But they did not have. No, did they have the dogs?
No,
they didn't have the dogs. So I assumed that Metalhead was after Black Museum.
Yeah,
but it's kind of.
Yeah, it'd have to be because that was an above ground place too, and it was clearly set up that like you're screwed if you're above ground with those dogs. You can't run a business, definitely.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, I loved her car.
Yeah.
Especially like the idea of like all gas stations are closed.
I know.
How do you charge your car? You just like your gas tanks have been replaced, so she like sets up a solar panel on her trunk, plugs it into her gas tank, and it's just
there.
Like wanders into this museum. And I like the idea of explaining how AI writes or your rights if your memories or if your essence is downloaded. Like, what rights do you have? Mm-hmm. And that was really interesting how it explained. All right. Other TV shows. Your John Wick.
I know.
That I still haven't seen.
What? I thought you watched it.
I started to.
And you gave it a meh review without even finishing it? How dare you?
Wait, did I finish watching it? I don't know. Wait.
I thought you said that they were just okay. Did you watch the second one?
I don't remember. I don't remember. See, that's the other thing. I don't know which one I watched. I think it was on Netflix or Hulu. I don't know. It's something. It wasn't clandestine. It was legit. But I just turned it on huh.
I know. That is Keanu Reeves is the best in that role.
I'll admit, he has a good actor because he actually has learned to do these things.
I know, he does all the stunts.
He knows Kung Fu. He has learned all this.
And that's the best part about it. It's because, the story's stupid. Come on.
Oh, no, I totally don't. But
that's not why you watch it. It's because the world around it is cool because I like the idea of the Continental and these, assassins who basically, operate in the open. They're secretive, but not that secretive because they recognize that, the police and stuff, too. Mm-hmm. It's more, it reminds me the comic version of Wanted, not the movie. Because that was the same way too, was where supervillains took over the world. And that's what you can do is you could go in and shoot up a McDonald's and then when the police show up, just flash them your little thing and say, hey, I'm one of the bad guys. And then it's oh, you can't do anything
Registered bad guy.
Yeah. And they're not that bad because they're not villainous, but they're just assassins. But it'd be the same way too. You could assassinate somebody in the park and then just be oh, carry on, Mr. Wick.
But that was the idea of also the Continental, which was why he went there. Was
their safe zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that the first one or the second one?
It's in both. They do the first one, but they they expand it more because the second one lets you know that like the Continental is actually like an international thing because he goes to Rome and there's a Continental there, but the main one is the one in New York.
Okay, so and it may have been the first one.
Because the first one takes place 100% in New York City, and the second one goes to Rome and comes back to New York City.
Okay, I mean it may have been the first one I was watching.
Yeah,
I'll have to. I know there's other cheap rentals and everything.
Yeah, they're good. I like them. I actually think they're about even in quality. The first one has a better story because of like his motivations are better. Yeah, because they kind of had the problem I think where they made the first one that they wanted it to be standalone in case it didn't get picked up for other things. And then they had the awkwardness. It's like the Stranger Things problem where I still stand by that Stranger Things was just it was like the end of the effing world thing where it was like we made a weird show. And they're like, what? People love it? And then they just like whittled something together to keep it going.
How do you make a more ultimate, bad guy with it, or a creature? It's like,
yeah, exactly.
It's like Alex said, the Alien.
I know, they just make up stuff.
Make more of the ultimate thing.
And so that's the only thing with John Wick 2 is that you kind of have the problem where he's just like, I did my thing, I'm out. And then they're like, oh, people like us. And the second movie's like, I guess I'm not out. And so that's kind of where the movie's sort of like, and they handle it in a way that's sort of like, whatever. It's kind of like the Force thing. They clearly just made up a special rule with the assassins just to make him come back. But then once he's back, it totally pays off because then the third movie's going to be awesome. Because then there's
going to be another one?
Yeah, like if you watch the second one is not the first one where it is like, no, clearly like they spoon feed you the setup for the third movie. So.
Well, they're making a series. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. So I guess I'll check it out.
Yeah. And
you'll have to get your Star subscription back.
I know. Watch my American Gods.
All right. So also with cell phones. All this talk about net neutrality and all the funness is for the last year there's been tests on how fast your service is. And Verizon hates you. They may cover more than everybody else.
But they get lazy.
But don't expect to watch a YouTube video. Or your Netflix. Verizon and AT&T have both, over the year, because they were checking the same times, the same time of month, the same locations, whole nine yards, make it fair. And Verizon and AT&T, their speeds dropped over the year. They kind of look like they tried to come back a little bit at the end, like, oh, we're not trying to mess you over. Yeah, you did. You're not even at what you were at the beginning of the year. Well, Verizon... Or not Verizon. No, well, okay, so Sprint is the worst of them all.
Okay.
So if you have Google Fi, you have Sprint and T-Mobile. Sprint is the worst.
But old Verizon guy says, I came over here because they're so awesome.
Because it's 1% difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 1% worse.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. They're almost at AT&T speeds.
Yeah.
But the best is T-Mobile.
Yeah, there you go.
So which means if you can get coverage, you have great speeds.
It is weird, though, because I used to live in renting my parents' house, and then they took it over, and then my phone was fine there, because I have Verizon, and then now when I visit them, it won't work. It's so weird, and I know it's like, it's surreal, because I'm like, I lived here for like a year.
Yeah, why doesn't
I know it worked, and then I go over there, and I just don't have any service, and so I was wondering if there was like a big change, because it's very bizarre.
Yeah.
The same phone, same coverage.
Verizon just says...
Yeah, Verizon's like, no, screw you on that hill.
Yeah, don't like you anymore.
And my parents ended up having to switch to T-Mobile.
There you go.
I think same reason, too, because they had problems and it was overpriced.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't blame you, because I would have switched. It's like unbearable. Like, if you use the data, you can't load anything. You can barely get on Facebook.
Yeah, I can't. Actually, it's really sad that sometimes if my house internet is bad, I'll just switch to data. It's really sad when my physical line coming to my house is worse than what my cell phone provides. So I don't know. And plus, every Tuesday you get free stuff.
Don't they buy your Netflix? I keep seeing that.
The what?
I say Netflix on us.
Oh, well, there's that
T-Mobile.
one. Well, if you have the thing. No, they, there was a $4 ticket to movies coming out. They're giving away pretzels right now. I'm constantly getting... Yeah, I know. I'm like...
Like big pretzels?
Well, it's like a pretzel place that I've never heard of. I'm going to go hunt it down if I want it. I'm like, no, that's worthless. But on the good side, I get Voodoo rentals. So I get money towards a Voodoo rental, which of it I'll put towards a purchase instead. Redbox rentals. Dumb things like magazine subscriptions. Let's see. Various... they work for Carl's Jr. and had their free $5 box. So, it definitely varies. Some Tuesdays you're like, this is all literally junk. It's kind of like the box in the mail. It's like Loot Crate. It's like some months you're like, this is the best box ever. Some months you're like, this should go straight to the trash.
Exactly.
Nobody wants this junk.
I know. You're like, what'd you guys do?
Yeah. Especially where I live in the Podunk, Idaho.
I know. Sometimes it does feel like they just took a broom and swooped out the stuff that fell off the shelves and just threw it all in a box.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, get the dust off of it.
Yeah.
We'll call it the retro box.
Oh, yeah. I love seeing that, when Hastings existed. So you see that, look, this was on Loot Crate, and we can charge you $100 for it. It's like, really? I can bring you an extra one.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, maybe that's why Hastings went out of business. All right. There's so much to talk about DC and their movie. I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about it next week. It's been just building up because they've even changed the comic books around, so they're no longer. They've changed. So they're in a different. They're no longer in Rebirth now. They're in their almost pre, Flashpoint.
Oh, you mean with the actual comics?
So the actual comics is doing that, but then the movies are also doing a lot of things, and the TV shows. And actually, I haven't even watched.
Is the Affleck out? Did they say anything? I'm so sick of those rumors. I'm like, is he in or is he out? That's all I care about.
Well, I'm gonna pull something really, really mean.
Huh?
You'll find out next week. So with that, we'll do famous last words. Go ahead.
I guess I should switch to T-Mobile. I don't know what else to say.
McDonald's should bring back the Szechuan sauce for Mulan.
The Affleck is a lie.